And
Hell
up.
no. No. If you're 18 to 30, you're not ready to be anybody's wife.
So you think women should get married? Do you think women should get married after 30?
So I think
Yo, what's up, YouTube? My name is Shishu Zed. I am back in here, man, with a brand new no cap show for you guys. The place where people tell the most lies on YouTube. You know what it is, man. Today we've got a new guest with us here. Please introduce yourself to the people. Let them know your name, your age, and where you're from.
Hey guys, my name is Brandy. I have a YouTube channel called It's Brandy Michelle B. I am in my mid-30s and I'm from New Orleans, but I live in Atlanta. And so I'm excited to be joining with you today and discussing the topic.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
You said you're in Atlanta, right?
I am.
How long have you been there?
Oh, I've been in Atlanta for over 10 years.
Cool. Yeah, I'm starting to run into a lot of people in Atlanta on the channel, which is
really
cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Atlanta's a happening place to be. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So today's video is going to be another Kevin Samuels reaction video. Before I talk about the video of today, are you familiar with Kevin Samuels?
Yes, I am. Who isn't?
Okay. He's kind of reached that place where it's like stardom level, right?
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
So today's video is called Are Modern Women Lazy When It Comes to Relationships? So we both watched the video, right? And just to give a recap, we had a lady come on and Kevin Samuels asked her if she wanted to get married.
So, single or non, do you want to be married?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any children?
I do not have children.
All right. So, were mom and dad married?
They were.
All right. So, who's helping you figure all this out?
You.
And then he proceeded to ask her about her history of past relationships, what she offers to a man, her experience dealing with a man.
Okay. Are you in a serious relationship with anyone?
No, not at the moment.
When was your last serious relationship?
I want to say, what are we in? 21. Last one was in like 2019, and it was short-lived.
What's your longest relationship?
Like a year and a half.
Why such short relationships?
I'm an artist. Why you gotta shake your head? I'm an artist.
Creatives.
Yeah, creatives. But really, I've been in pursuing my entertainment career since I was like 14, well, really like 13 years old. So
what do you mean your entertainment career? And what?
I'm an artist. I'm a singer, songwriter, performer.
So that's your first love.
That's my first love.
So you don't have room for a husband.
Why do you say that?
And ultimately, what he came to the conclusion of was she did not have the experience it took to cooperate with the man, and she needed more of that.
If you're trying to interview to be a wife, I'm going to ask you what's your relationship experience, and you don't have much.
That's true.
So,
I've had a lot of situationships, not a lot of relationships.
So you're unqualified to be a wife.
You think so? Just because you haven't had a lot of relationships?
Well, were you raised to be a wife?
I don't think I was technically raised to be a wife.
So any woman that says that I've been focusing on my career, following my passion, whatever, is a woman that raises a red flag to most men. You're number one in your world. After
watching the video, what was your overall take? What stood out to you? Talk to me.
I'm not the biggest Kevin Samuels fan. I've done a lot of videos about him and like some of the things he talks about, and people think I don't like him, but that's not the case. It's just, I don't agree with everything he says. But some of the points that he made, like kind of shooting her down because she hasn't had the best relationships, like I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree she's not marriage material just because she hasn't been successful in a past relationship. Like, I think when you date someone, like if you're in a relationship, like every relationship should teach you something. And if you're not learning anything out of your relationships, I mean, you know, that's kind of on you to find out within yourself what you need to do to better yourself and better the relationship, right? So she was trying to tell him that, and he was kind of shooting her down. I think he was asking her something like, you know, were you taught to be a wife or something? Nobody's taught to be a wife. Nobody's taught to be a husband either. I think that's something that you have to learn within yourself. I mean, I guess there's things that your parents can teach you when you're young, but ultimately it's up to you to learn certain things in the relationship and make your relationship or marriage successful. So,
okay. Here's my question to you, Brandon.
yeah.
Right? When it comes to preparation to be a wife, and if you want to be a wife, do you think if that's your end goal that you should be intentional about getting to that goal?
Oh yeah.
From
I think so.
the beginning?
Yeah.
Do you think she was intentional from what we heard from the video?
Well, I mean, she was there to get help from Kevin, right? Like, she was asking him, like.
So
yeah,
here's my question. Do you
Yeah.
think she was intentional, right, before meeting Kevin Samuels, from what she talked about? Do you think she was intentional about making sure she made herself prepared to be a wife?
I mean, as far as
This is what I remember. She said, number one, I've had more situationships than relationships.
True.
Right? Just that by itself, for a man who's looking for a serious wife, you're not going to get taken seriously. Right? If you're sitting there and all he thinks is that you were just smashing. You know what I mean? Getting ran.
Well, I mean, that's not entirely true, though. It just depends on, you know, maybe she's dated the wrong guy.
What's not entirely true?
That she's not ready for a relationship and not ready to, like, you know, better herself for marriage.
So on top of admitting that she's only been in situationships, she also admitted that, hey, I put my career first, her art career first before my pursuit of a man. And this is a common problem that we see with a lot of women who are like educated, right? Is that they go get these degrees, they go to school, and they think that those things are actually like leverage that they can use for men. At the end of the day, men just don't care about that. We don't care about your degrees. We don't care about.
That's not true. Every man is different. That is a red pill talking point.
No. It's not an
red pill men believe in that.
And we're going to use RP, right? Because I don't want the channel to get affected. Yeah. It's not RP men that are the only people that believe in this, right? My father would not still be with my mother if she did not learn how to be a wife from her mother growing up. What do I mean? You can't not prioritize preparation for being a wife. It's a big deal. It's not one of those things where you just walk in and turn on. You can't spend your whole life, right, focusing on your career, not thinking about what a man wants, what men like, and then finally, after you're done pursuing your career and you know you've kind of given your best years to your degree or your pursuit for a career, then finally saying, oh, I'm just going to now hit the light switch and turn into a wife. You're going to tell me it works that way?
So I think two people can build together and work on their careers together. Like I know plenty of couples who've done that.
You didn't answer my question. What I just asked you, can somebody go through their life, focus on a career, after they're done with their career, just become a wife like that?
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
So you're telling me you don't need any experience or learning how to work and putting deliberate effort in learning how to work with a man.
Well, that's different, but nobody's perfect, though. Like, nobody's perfect. You're not going to go through life just automatically knowing how to do something. You have to internalize and you have to work on yourself, right? Just how you go to school and you get a job and you get your experience. It's the same thing.
Brandy, you're missing the point here, okay? Let me say it one more time. Do you think a job would hire you as a surgical assistant at a hospital and you go in there and they hire you based on nobody's perfect.
But you can't
Please
compare
answer
that
my
to a
question.
relation. But you can't compare that to a relationship, though. How
And
is that
that's the
compared to a relationship?
Let me tell you, and that's the problem, right? And honestly, I'm so shocked. Let me finish. I'm honestly so shocked because this isn't the first time I've had this conversation, right? The specific one. I'm so shocked that women usually think that life works differently from relationships. It works the same way. Love isn't the all like deciding factor in whether things work out. It's not about meeting this person and things just work out. No, you've got to do the work. And that's why that episode was called Modern Women Lazy. So what I'm saying
I'm not saying that you don't have to do the work. You definitely
What I'm saying is the same way that they would look at you crazy if you walk into a hospital and say, hey, I'm a doctor, but I haven't gone to school for it and I want to get into surgery. That's the same way men laugh at women who sit there and all they bring are their degrees, right? We don't care about, oh, I ran into these bad guys. You chose those guys. You're intentional about who you allow into your life. I know I am. I'm sure you are as well, right? You wouldn't let a guy come into your life who you knew would just mooch off you, wouldn't bring some real value. You wouldn't, I don't think you would do that.
Right.
So the same thing, she has to be held onto that standard. And this is a very important thing that a lot of women don't realize, is that they don't think you can compare preparation for any other part of your life to relationships. You have to be prepared. You have to prepare to be a wife. It is not a switch that you just go and just turn on and like, now I'm a wife. It just doesn't work like that.
Well, no, it's all about balance.
Preparation.
Yeah, preparation. Okay. But
Is what I'm saying making any sense at all?
yeah, of course, like experience, preparing yourself through other relationships. But what I'm saying is Kevin shot her down just because her past relationships didn't work, right? So she's coming to him for advice to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? And for him to just shoot her down and be like, oh, well, you're screwed. Like, if I'm coming to Kevin for advice saying, okay, so I've done X, Y, and Z, it's not worked for me. What do I need to do next?
He told her what to do. I do get what you're saying. And
Yeah.
he told her, do you remember the part where he kind of told her like, hey, you need to go get therapy. Are you in therapy? And then she lied and said yes.
Are you still in therapy?
Absolutely.
How long you been in therapy?
I've been in, I haven't been in this year, last year and the year before. So about 2 years I was in therapy before I had
But
to
you're
go
not,
on
you said you're
hiatus.
still in therapy, so you're not in therapy.
Well, I had to take a break because of insurance issues.
But
I had to
that's
take
not
a
what
break.
you just said. You said you're still in therapy. You're not.
Well,
That's
I'm
just, ma'am. It's just, no, ma'am. No, there's no, ma'am. No. Words mean things. It's almost June. And you said you're in therapy. You're implying that this is still ongoing. It turns out you haven't been in there all year.
Yeah, she
then-
wasn't. She didn't get straight to the point with that.
Here's my thing, Brandy, right? We're sitting here having this conversation. You know this girl was wrong. Why do you feel like you have to protect her? I feel like there's a sister code here with women who
No, I don't know this
sister.
woman. When women go on his show, they know what they're getting into, right? So I'm not taking up for her in any way, but like, I think that people like her, they value his opinion, and they're on his show getting advice because they want to know what to do.
Here's what I'm asking you. Why are you sticking up for her when we've both agreed that she's had more situationships than real relationships? She told a bold-faced lie on camera. Right there, we saw her tell it. And then also, you've agreed that she had like a bad past and isn't prepared to be a wife. Why is it so hard? Because I feel like there's this thing with our black women, right? Which they just can't. Is it like a woman thing? Is it like a sister code where you guys just can't say, hey, she's wrong?
No, because I'm not sticking up for her. I just don't think she's entirely wrong, though, at the same time.
Is she mostly wrong? Here's a better question. Would you let
I don't know. I don't know her, so I can't say she's wrong.
Would you let your son marry her?
Would I let my son marry her? I don't have a son.
That wasn't the question, right?
There's no way I can like truthfully answer that because I don't have a son, and that's not even.
Brandy, you know, I'm just telling a hypothetical here.
I know.
Okay, and you want to avoid. You see, here's where it comes. We're like avoiding telling the truth. Do you think that you would let your son marry her after what we've discussed and what you know about it?
I can't. There's no way I can answer that. I can't answer that. But would you let your son marry her?
Hell no.
Okay,
Hell
well then,
no.
there you go.
Why can't you answer that question?
Because I don't have a son. So I can't, I mean, I don't do
Are you
well with
familiar
hypotheticals.
You do very well with hypotheticals, but you don't want to admit the truth.
No, in this situation, she came onto his show. I saw a woman desperate for advice. Right?
Would you let your son marry that lady?
I don't know this lady. I cannot answer it. I don't know.
From what you've known so far, with the information you have.
I can't answer it. I can't answer it. There's no way I can answer that.
You mean you refuse to answer it? Because you can.
Yes, I refuse. Because I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, my.
First of all, this woman looks like she's in her 30s. Like, I would have to have a son in his 30s.
I feel like you're being disingenuous.
Why?
You know what I mean? Because you're avoiding answering the truth. You're not keeping it 100. But this is the No Cap Show, man, where people tell the biggest lies on YouTube. She just escaped the question, and that's how it goes sometimes on here. But what else stood out to you from the video?
Another thing that stood out, I guess, was when he asked her, what do you bring to the table? And she was trying to tell him, she kind of tap dance around the question. So I do agree with him on that, like saying, get straight to the point, because she wasn't straight to the point with that. But she was trying to say, I can be nurturing, I can do those sorts of things. And he just kind of shot her down. So I didn't really agree with that.
Here's my question, right?
Here you go.
Would you let your son marry her? Yes, I'm going to keep asking that. I'm going to keep asking that. You know why? Because you wouldn't.
I don't have a son.
It doesn't matter. It's a hypothetical question for a reason. You do not have a son, so you don't. And if you did,
I would have to. I can't answer that question without getting to know her more.
No, I'm asking you with the information that you have right now. You know you would not let your son marry that woman because she is out of her mind, right? She focused on her artwork, and then she thinks she can just become a wife like that. As a man, in order for me to be taken seriously as a husband, let's say for you, right? This is just hypothetical again. We're not actually married here, Brandy. Don't freak out. But I know you don't do hypotheticals. You would require me to be able to provide in some capacity.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You would require me to go out and have a job. Would you want the person you're going to marry to pay most of the rent? I'm sure, because most women want providers. And I'm not trying to say any of this is wrong. For a woman, she's required to go and learn how to be a wife too. There's no excuses. If a guy who's broke comes up to you and tries to approach you, you're going to laugh at him. If you ask for your number, yes, you are.
That's not true. I've dated men without money, or didn't have a lot of money.
But what about if he was fat and ugly, and to your standards, and broke?
If he was fat and ugly.
If he was obese, 300 pounds, broke, I'm talking about he's not going to the gym, taking care of himself, and he's also not providing for himself properly.
Well, see, I can answer that question because
Would you take him seriously?
And this is nothing against, larger men, but I'm fit, so I would want a guy who's fit, just like me, right? So I can honestly answer that, because of course.
So you would not take him seriously?
No, probably not.
Probably. So no, you wouldn't.
No.
That's the same way why you can't excuse a woman saying, oh, she just had bad boyfriends. You don't get that excuse when you're a man.
So you're telling me if you went on a date, like if you and I went on a date, and I say, you know what, I just haven't had the best luck with men. What would you just run away from the date?
After I smash, yeah.
You wouldn't even get to that point.
No. But I'm just letting you know right now, if I was looking for a wife and you told me,
but I could lie to you. I could say, you know what, I've had the best relationships, and you know, men are just, they just didn't, whatever. Like I could just
then
tell
hey,
you.
If you lie, you lie. You know what I mean? Hopefully I've got enough game to like see past that. But
my point is, like, nobody's perfect. I mean, Kevin Samuels has been divorced 3 times. Like, he of all people should know nobody's perfect. He didn't have the perfect situations. So for him to judge someone based on their past, you are not your past, is what I'm saying. This woman had bad relationships. So now she's internalizing herself. She went through therapy, right? Because she apparently stopped going. But, you know, she was trying to do things to better herself, to prepare. That's what she was going on his show to do and to say.
I get where you're coming from. I truly do. I really do. But here's the truth. Kevin Samuels, number one, isn't looking for a wife. I don't think he's actively looking for one, right? The last live, he told us he has several girlfriends. I was like, damn, bro. But hey, he admitted. You know what I mean? I'm assuming for wife. This woman is looking for a husband, actively looking. And right now at this time, with what she's told us, me and you both know she is not ready to be in a marriage.
Well, who is, though? Even if you think that you are ready to be in a marriage, who is? I mean, one's ever ready. I think people take risks, right? Even when you're in a relationship, you take risks to be in a relationship with someone, and you just kind of go along with the journey together. If it ends up in marriage, great. You go through marriage counseling, right, before you get married. Like, that's a thing. You have to go through marriage counseling. You have to prepare before you get married. So
you just said you have to prepare to get married.
Yeah, both people. So even if
no.
Go ahead.
You just said you have to prepare before you get married.
Yeah.
She said she lied about being in counseling, and she hasn't been in counseling for over half a year. And
I think she was just nervous. I think she was nervous.
You're gonna do everything to make excuses for this chick, man.
I'm not. I'm not. But like, it happens.
You can't think. We gotta work with the evidence. What we know. What we know is that she admitted. See, now you want to make your reality her reality. No.
Oh God.
Right? You're making. Literally. She said. She lied about being in therapy. She said, "Hey, I have a chaotic mind."
And I'm going to say that's a chaotic mind.
Oh, I absolutely have a chaotic mind.
Okay, and that means you're unfit for peace.
She admitted at the end of the interview, she actually.
And you know what? I didn't watch the entire thing.
Okay. Well, she admitted to saying, "Hey, I have a chaotic mind." We put all those things together. She admitted that. We put all those things together. Do you think she prepared for marriage? Proper.
I mean, obviously not. No.
So, is she ready to be a wife? No.
But who? But see, who is though? But
so you can't say no. You can't say you have to prepare to be a wife and then say, but who's ready? You see,
Are you ready to be a husband? Are you ready to be a husband?
I'm not ready. I'm not telling people I'm ready to be a husband. I'm not working towards that. You know what I mean? But she said, hey, I'm ready to be a wife. So it sounds like you agree with Kevin Samuels on this topic, because he thought she wasn't ready either.
Based on his title, I do not agree. But if we're talking about this specific woman, as far as her being ready, no, of course she's not ready, because she was on his show trying to seek out advice. So of course not.
So you think most women, because his title said, are modern women lazy when it comes to relationships? Do you think most women aren't lazy when it comes to relationships? This is a yes or no question.
That's hard to answer because what most women like who? Like, are we talking working women? Are we talking younger women, older women? Like, who are we talking?
Majority of adults work, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, adults. Do you think that they're ready to be
like 30s and up? 30s and up?
Do you think? No. We're
or are we talking
adults.
25?
From the ages 18 when you're an adult and up.
No. If you're 18 to 30, you're not ready to be anybody's wife. I mean, there are women who do.
So you think women should get married? Do you think women should get married after 30?
I think so. Yeah. I do. I do.
Oh man, why?
Because I mean, I got proposed to when I was 22, right? I didn't go through with it because I wasn't ready. I was not ready to be anybody's wife. I was living life. I had just moved to Atlanta. I was not ready for that. I was still learning about myself. I didn't really know who I was until I was about 27 years old. So it's impossible for a young woman to be married and know how to be a wife in her early 20s. Do you think that's possible? I mean, I'm pretty sure when you were dating in your early 20s, were the girls you're dating, were they ready to be wives?
No, that's because they did not go out and seek that knowledge. That's because they spent time finding themselves, right? And having
But that's what you're supposed to do in your early 20s. Guys do.
Go out and have fun?
Yeah.
And find yourself.
You go out and have fun, because if you don't do that, let me tell you what's going to happen. If you don't If you don't do it in your early 20s, you're going to get older in your 40s and you're going to wonder, oh, I never had fun. I never did these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to always wonder. And then you're going to turn into a monster when you're in your 40s because you didn't do it in your 20s.
Hey, I'll give you this. I actually do have an opinion that kind of backs yours, where I think that you should have fun, but here's the problem: not for 10 years, right? You can't be out here fucking and sucking, partying, having a blast for 10 years straight.
And I'm not saying, but see, that's very true. And I'm not saying that's all you need to do. There's more to life than just that part.
But
right?
that's what women are doing.
That's what some women are doing.
Most women are right. Most women are out here wilding. They're going to Vegas. They're going to Miami. They're going to Cancun. They're tripping out. You know what I mean? Which, hey, I understand. You have 1 year of that in your college time. Cool. But it should be limited. And then there's a time for you. Preferably, men don't want you to do that at all. That's unrealistic, right? But a smart woman,
very unrealistic.
A smart woman realizes, like, hey, I am approaching 25. At 30, my looks are going to start kind of going down, right?
If you don't take care of yourself, yes.
Biologically, there's this thing that happens with time where women lose their beauty over time. It's just what happens, right? It doesn't matter. Yes, taking care of yourself does help. But that message of go have fun while you're young, that leads to being single. That leads to never getting married. And instead, we should be encouraging women and men to build. Men have more time, right? Women don't have so much time.
There you go with that.
Men have more time.
How do men have more time? Explain
Number one, what does a man value about a woman?
I don't know. You tell me.
Her looks.
Okay. That's not
He
always
values
true.
her look. It's the first thing he notices. Her
That's
looks.
true. Yes. Men are very visual. Yes.
And when you get to about 30, your looks start to decrease.
That's not true.
Right.
That's not true. Not for every woman. A woman who's had a hard life, yes.
For most women, it happens, especially in the Black community. 60% of women are obese in the Black community.
Oh gosh.
60%. Okay. It's not me, man. These are facts.
Okay, I hear you.
They're obese, and they're not taking care
Well,
of themselves.
that's not in my circles.
Well, I'm just saying, most women, right? This is why it's dangerous, because you can't look at things from just your own way of thinking. This, you know, we're on a public platform, and we have to think about the general trend, right? Because life works in generalities. Most women don't take care of themselves. So the last thing they need is to say, hey girl, go ahead and have fun your whole 20s into your 30s and then get married at 35. No.
I disagree with that, but okay. I
Disagree with what?
That's an RP point, and I don't, that's a point that I do not agree with that.
What do you disagree with?
That women just, you know, go downhill at 35. That's
60% of women in our community are obese.
Where is that stat coming from?
I will send you these statistics.
Yeah.
I will say this, 60 to 70% of men are overweight, but here's the problem. Women will go down in looks. A lot of their times, looks is not priority to them, right? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to your beauty as a woman, if you're having a blast through your 20s going into 30, you're sacrificing potential of finding a husband, and it's serious. Right?
That's not true. That's not true, because I think a woman needs to have fun to be a good wife later. Because the last thing a woman wants to do is not have that time when she's in her early 20s and get to that point in life and she's older and she hasn't had any fun and she doesn't know herself. That's a place where a woman does not want to be, for a man either.
Know yourself. Your goal isn't to know yourself in life. Your goal is to know your man.
Oh, please. Okay. I agree with you, but I also agree that in order to make somebody else, let me finish. In order to make someone else happy, you have to be happy with yourself. Is that not true?
Tell me what you're learning during that time that's going to benefit your marriage. In that time where you're knowing yourself, what are you learning?
You're learning life. You're learning how to cook, right? You're learning how to, you can
do that in a marriage.
For yourself.
Next.
You can do, yes, you can, but I mean, you have to.
So you're telling me women. So you're telling me women are waiting till 30 to get married so that they can learn how to cook.
No, I'm not saying that's all, but I'm saying
what's really happening?
How do you handle tough situations in life? Like, I had a boyfriend in my early 20s. I've always been in relationships. I had a, boyfriend in my early 20s. And, we would get into arguments and things like that. And I would say things like mean and hurtful things. Now, looking back on those things, it's like, I shouldn't have said that. I could have said it differently. But that's the point. Like, those types of experiences have taught me what to do now. And how to be a better person. How to be, like, a better partner to someone now. Because I've had those experiences, right? And I've been able to analyze what went wrong.
I'm blown away right now, man.
You agree, right?
No, I do not. This is mind blowing.
How is it mind blowing?
That you're saying women need a decade to have fun and they should get married in their mid-30s.
I'm not saying they need a decade.
You said they should get.
I never said that.
You said they shouldn't get married. This is recorded. You said they shouldn't get married till after 30. Did you not say that?
I said it's not a bad idea. If a woman wants to get married at 25, okay, she's welcome to do that. But is she going to be the best version? Is she going to be the best version of herself, though? Is what I'm saying.
The best version of you is a customized version of you for your man. What happens is when you are with different men, right? You get jaded because not every man is the same.
Obviously, yeah.
You're jaded from all these different types of men. You get these preconceived ideas of what men are. You are upset, right? You have these traumatic experiences. And then when it comes to bonding with the man, you can't bond with the man because of past hurtful relationships. And a man has to break through those walls. We know how this stuff works. We date. Right? Mm-hmm. We know women say stuff like, I don't know, I've been through this so many times and I just don't know if I can trust you. That's from her not being intentional with her dating a lot of times.
It depends on the woman. Yeah, I mean, does it happen? Yeah, of course. That happens.
go 10 years, a decade, way to 30, and say, hey, I'm just going to have fun and just have a blast, they're hurting themselves ultimately.
It's not true. It's not true. It's just not true. We just have to agree to disagree. It's not true. It depends on the person. It depends on the woman and her situation. That's it. You know, but I know I can't make that argument with you because, I mean, you know.
I can't believe it. Okay, so number one, women's looks don't decrease with time.
I'm not saying that they don't, but I said if women take care of themselves, that they can prolong their looks, obviously.
Biology doesn't care about how much you take care of yourself. When you get to 35, your looks are dropping.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It just doesn't care.
Okay.
Women should wait till they're 30, right? Before they get married.
Yes.
You still stand by? Yes, you stand by. Yes. All right.
Yeah. Men as well.
This is wild. This is wild. Would you give this type of advice to your daughter?
I would. Absolutely. Okay. Without a doubt.
Sounds good. This is where we're going to end it. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't. It's, you know, Kevin, I do have to say this though. Kevin Samuels is interesting. I think, and like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of his. I do agree with some things that he says. I don't agree with everything. Do I think that he's creating a little bit of animosity among men and women? Yes, I do. I do think so.
Animosity? How's he creating animosity?
Because he's, you know, with his title, lazy, are modern women lazy? Like, I just don't think that's cool to put that title on women. And it's kind of like now. Let me finish really quick. It's like now all of the responsibility of having a good marriage is only on the woman. Like, it's only focused on the woman. Like, the man has no responsibility.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Can you think of any other mainstream public platform where a man can go and be as honest as Kevin Samuels is?
No, I can't.
So you're telling me you'd rather there's no platform like Kevin so that men can't speak their truth?
Not that I can think of, no.
No, listen. You're telling me that you would rather Kevin Samuels, because you're saying he's ultimately building animosity towards people. You're telling me that you would rather men just don't have a voice, right? And all we have is The View, the Shade
I didn't say
Room,
that.
all these platforms. Well, then if there's no other platform where men can be honest with you, and it's not always going to feel good, sometimes it's going to hurt, and you take that away from them, then what voice will men have?
No, I'm not saying that he can't express, you know, I'm not saying that men can't express how they're feeling, but
they are expressing how they're feeling. You just don't like it.
Not me personally. I could care less. I don't follow Kevin. The men that I know don't know Kevin. I'm sorry. So
everybody knows Kevin.
No, not the men I associate with. They don't.
Even the white men you associate with. Oh yeah, I see them in the comment section.
No, but anyway, Kevin is doing his thing. He's making money. I mean, he's entertaining to me, and he knows how to do it. So kudos to him. I have nothing. You know, that's good for him. But I'll leave it at that. That's it.
Any more points at all that you got?
I can't think of anything. I think we covered it all.
Cool. Final question.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything from our conversation at all?
I learned that, you know, I think that life is precious, you know, and instead of focusing on women this, women that, I think men and women should come together and work together and stop only focusing on one person being wrong or one specific thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know I can't change your mind on some of your points.
Here, let me say this. Let me say this, Brandy. If you took Kevin Samuels away, you just admitted that there'll be no platform where men could speak. If you took him away. let me ask you, then you'd create that same very problem you're complaining about. One platform for men, and now you think that, oh, you want to play the victim role. Do you get what I mean? Where you have The View, you have The Shade Room, you have all these other TV shows that are led by women. There's nothing out there for men except small YouTube channels like mine. Before that was available for men, then we only heard people like Derek Jackson. I bet you liked him.
Actually, no, I didn't follow Derek Jackson.
Well, that's who was speaking for men, right? Because he was pandering and saying things that women wanted to hear.
Or was he just kind of stroking
the he was a black man misrepresenting what men truly thought.
Oh.
But
I didn't follow him, so I don't know.
Now you know what men truly think. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Some men. I don't put all men in a box though. I don't do that.
All men want feminine, nurturing women who are in their right minds.
Let me ask you a question. Does it matter what women want though to men? Does it matter or does it not matter?
It matters to an extent. Let me explain. No, it doesn't. At the end of the day, because here is why. When you want to get married, you're looking to be picked, right? You're the apple in the grocery store. You have to make that apple look the most appealing. In that moment, in that situation, it only matters what the man wants. If he wants a green apple, you got to go find a green apple. Whoever that store owner is, right? Yeah, I'm comparing it to a store where there's groceries. Men go to shop. If men like green apples, you've got to be a green apple. That's why it matters the most what men think. Because men get on the knee. Men are the ones that ask, right? So you got to cater to the man who's going to get on the knee. And when you continue thinking that like it doesn't matter and I'm just going to be a banana when people want apples, or I'm just going to be whatever, you know, and I'm not going to be what men like, which is nurturing, peaceful, pleasant, feminine, cooperative, and, you know, in your right
mind. I think, let's see. Go ahead.
Men aren't going to pick you. If you choose, you're not going to be those things. If you want to just go 10 years and just like have crazy fun and just party, men are going to recognize and say, hey, this thing doesn't look like quality. I don't want to buy that. Men are the buyer at the end of the day. That's why it matters more what men think when it comes to the topic of marriage.
It's not true. I don't agree. I think that banana can find an orange. I don't know. I'm just, you know, that's just my opinion. And I'm speaking from experience. So.
From experience?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm speaking from experience as far as, you know,
as far as like marriage and stuff, or just dating?
Both. Like dating, you know, I've had really good relationships with men, you know.
You're married?
And I'm not, but that's by choice.
Okay.
By choice.
Got you.
Yeah.
Overall, thanks for coming onto the No Cap Show.
It's been fun.
The show with the most lies on YouTube. People, you doesn't get any better than this.
All that capping you did.
Brandy, appreciate you. Hey guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that like button, man. Show your boys some love. Also, let us know what you thought of the conversation in the comment section down below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Bye.